Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Sandy, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing as I get my deck together for spring 2025. Now, all of my outdoor furniture is very old. This umbrella here is about maybe 7 years old and it's very faded. It used to be brown and it's faded, and wasps live in there. So I will be getting rid of that. And then my cushions are really old as well. They're probably more like 15 years old or something like that. Long time I've had them, and they're really nasty and dirty. So we're going to see if we can bring them back to life and kind of stretch their existence a little bit longer. The rug I've had for a couple years. The same with that. I'm going to try to see if I can get that to come back to itself. And I've got a couple of other things out here, and I'm just going to be sharing how I kind of get everything cleaned up, and hopefully this will motivate someone to get out and to get their outdoor spaces together, because let's face it, spring is upon us. So I'm just kind of taking inventory of everything. I like to do container gardens, and I'm telling you now that I have severely neglected my garden all winter long. So I don't know what's going to be up under that greenhouse once I open it up, because I have not watered it, haven't done anything. These are some faux flowers from last year that I just kind of left out here. They're kind of faded. This is my garden flag. I think we can refresh that by giving that a good power wash, and I think that could give us another good year. So I'm just kind of evaluating what I'm going to have to purchase versus what I think I'm going to be able to bring back to life. My furniture has been around for a very long time as well. I painted it several times, and I think that's what we're going to do this year, but I will replace this umbrella. Now, my go to spot when I'm getting rid of anything is Facebook Marketplace. And so this was no different. I disclose anything that is wrong with an item for anyone, and they can make their decision from there. But this family was very, very happy to get this umbrella. So now that umbrella is gone, as is the grill. My grill was very old as well, and it was just time to kind of replace that. It was rusting out and pieces were falling off of it, all of the things. And I actually gave that away. I couldn't even sell it. But anyway, now that those two items are gone, it's time to come out here and get this area cleaned up. Now, outdoor work for me is a daunting task, and it always takes me a very, very long time. So you're going to see um, clothes changing and everything else, because this is filmed over the course of several days. Look at this garden. I should be ashamed of myself to even consider myself a gardener. I have severely neglected these plants and things. I normally get like collards and my herbs and things like that throughout the winter. This year, I didn't even try. I just left everything out here. So it's time to kind of get everything taken out of here, get some fresh soil put in here, and get some new crops planted. But first, let's clean off everything off of here because the deck needs to be power washed. I'm just removing everything off of the deck here. Look at all that stuff I had up here on that deck. Ridiculous. But we're going to go ahead and get all of that stuff off and start with the power washing process. I am very anxious to see if my cushions are going to come back to themselves, because as you saw at the beginning of the video, they were very, very stained. And I've been pricing some more. Actually, I purchased some more cushions, but I'm hoping to be able to take them back and that I'm able to bring these back to life. But I went ahead and purchased them just because that's something around here that if you find the colors that you want, they kind of sell out really quickly. So I wanted to have them on hand just in case. And I picked those up from the at home store. Now, I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, I could definitely prolong the life of my umbrella, my chairs, and all of the things if I would just take them in the house after the fall season. But I just neglected to do that this last past year, but I'm planning to do that this year. Anyway, I have my power washer out, and I'm just getting some of the tougher stains off of the deck. I know that we will be having pollen falling over the next couple weeks or whatever, so it'll be impossible to keep this space clean. But I like to at least do this to get the initial cleanup done or whatever, and I can just hose down the pollen each day or whatever before I come out and enjoy the outdoor space, because I love being outside. I'm even power washing this rug. This is a rug that I got from Wayfair. Was it Wayfair? No, I think I got it from Amazon last year, last summer, either the summer before. Can't remember. But anyway, there's two of them and they're exactly the same. They're in pretty good shape, except for there's some rust here, which came from that rusted umbrella. So I'm just trying to get that out with the power washer. It's not really doing anything. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of cleanser on them. And my go to is vinegar, alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and Dawn Power Wash mixed together, and I'll kind of scrub it to see if I can get that off. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and get everything kind of washed off. I will be painting the chairs, so they need to be washed off so that they can dry so that I can go ahead and spray paint them. The deck turned out pretty good. There's a couple boards that need to be replaced, but we're not going to deal with those right now. The rugs, I kind of let them sit out there to dry, so we're good to go on those. I'm going to go ahead and put them back. Now, what I am going to do is kind of position these rugs in such a way that the faded part is kind of behind the furniture. And that's the part that would have been exposed last year and kind of exposed the other side, which looks newer. So, little hack there to get some more life out of your rug. So here I am with that spray concoction that I'm trying to get this rust out. I can tell you now it didn't work, but it's okay because once I rinsed that out, I did go ahead and overlap the rug so you can't even see that spot. I love that little concoction of cleaner. I use it in the house as well for the shower. It works perfectly. Just love it. Rubbing alcohol, vinegar, and Dawn Power Wash in a spray bottle. Everything is looking really good so far. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn these rugs on around. And you see I'm kind of overlapping them to kind of hide that little rust spot. But all in all, I think this is a good choice. Now, I had mentioned earlier that I wanted to go with a Spanish theme for my deck. That's out the window. I mean, I need to use what I have and make it work. So that's what we're going to be doing today. That faux plant there I bought last year, yeah, last year. It's not really for outside, but it's like plastic or whatever. So I did purchase that and I used it outside and it held up pretty good. So we're gonna use it again. This is a different day here. I've come out and look at this mess. This is what I've left out here overnight. I know my neighbors are like, what in the world? But I needed everything to dry and everything. So I'm looking here and I can see that some of the nasty stains are still there on the cushion. So I'm going to go ahead and try again to spray them and use a brush to kind of get some of that discoloration off of these cushions. And while that's soaking in there, I'm going to go ahead now and spray paint the chairs. They were in pretty bad shape, just from being out and rusting or whatever, but spray paint brings them back like brand new. I've spray painted them several times since I've had them, and they come out perfectly, each time. But every other year or so, I do have to repeat this process just to freshen them up. And the good thing is that structurally, they're in good shape. They just get kind of scratched up and faded over time. But other than that, they're in good shape. The chairs are very structurally sound. So we're going to just continue to use them until we can't use them anymore. This is a little side table that I usually keep outside just for, glass for my water. I mean, a table for my water or whatever I might be sipping on. And so I'm just going on and putting some spray paint on that as well. Look how bad this chair is. But once we put that paint on it, you will never know that they look like that. This spray paint works so well. This is just some Rust-Oleum paint. I think it was $5.99 a can or whatever. And you pick up spray paint anywhere. But anyway, that's what we're doing. And we're using a black color. These chairs were originally brown, but the last time I painted them a darker color than they originally were. And this time I'm going all the way black with them. I'm even going to power wash my rug. Now, typically I'll buy a new mat for the door each season, but this year I am really about trying to use what I have when I can. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to wash this thing really good. I love this mat. I just like it and it matches with my other rug nicely or whatever. So we're just going to wash it off and we'll get another year out of that as well. Now, I mentioned that I try my hand at gardening every year. So this year is not going to be any different. I've got my little seeds here and we're going to go ahead and start the planting process with some of my pots. I have these little small greenhouses that I put out, for this time of year where it still gets pretty cool at night. But I plant some collards in this little trough thing. I've been doing this for a long time now, and for whatever reason, they do really, really well. I do well with collards. Now I know it's a small space, and collards typically are planted in the ground, but it's okay. You can use whatever space you have, and whatever crops you get, that's what you get. It's better than having to buy everything from the grocery store. Now, I mentioned that I use these faux flowers and I'm not gonna do anything different this year. I'm gonna do it again. Now, I mix in live flowers with my faux flowers, but I do this because it gets so hot, so hot with my flowers, and they just don't last from the beginning of the season till the end. So I don't want to have to be replacing flowers all the time. I love to have flowers around. I love the color. So I'm just gonna roll with this little concoction here. Concoction. This little thing here that I have. It adds just the right amount of color to it. It's right there in the corner. And this is where I usually hang my little garden flag. So I have power washed the flag and it looks good to go as well. It says good vibes only, and that's all I accept back here in my little happy place. It's so peaceful out here. I just love coming out here and just sitting and having my coffee or whatnot. Now, this is the plant that I've had. I got it last year, I think, and I just kind of stuck it down in here. It's a faux plant, but this year I said I'm going to go ahead and do a little something special with it. So I'll show you what I'll do with that in a minute. But in the meantime, I said let me get this umbrella going because it's getting hot out here and I need to shade. So I decided to just kind of stop, go over here and put this umbrella together so I can shade myself while I'm doing the rest of my work. I picked up this umbrella from the at home store. I got the 9 feet and it was $59.99. They had 7 feet for 29 or 39.99, but I went ahead and got the 9 feet and it's really easy to install. I mean, just a couple of pieces here that you snap together and just put your umbrella in and then you're good to go. And it gives wonderful shade. And since I had to get an umbrella this year, I decided to go with something a little bit different. The last one that I had was just a brown umbrella. And when I went to the at home store, they just had all these different colors to choose from. And where I wanted to go with my Spanish theme and kind of get a red umbrella or orange umbrella or something like that, once I knew that that wasn't even practical, I decided to get this black and white umbrella. I thought it would match really nice with my existing rug, and black and white is neutral, so it would look just fine with my existing green cushions that we'll be using again this year. So I just thought this was a nice little touch here, and I like the way that it looked. I always get so excited this time of year because I love the spring. I love summer too, but I really love the spring, the changing of the seasons. We're done with that winter stuff and we can come outside and get that natural vitamin D. That natural vitamin D is everything. I love sitting out in the sun and just soaking it all in. It is just so nice. Such a nice way to de stress at the end of the day. And this umbrella is the perfect size for this space. My deck is very, very small, so I didn't need anything too big. But now I can get on back to my planting. I got some things planted, but I had to take a break. It just had gotten too hot out here. So I'm planting these, and like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in my greenhouse so that if it gets a little cool at night or whatever, the seedlings can do okay. And I'll have some little sprouts in about a week. I'm planting peppers. Peppers do really well in containers. I'm doing cucumbers this year. I'm doing some squash this year and the collards and lettuce. Lettuce does extremely well as also. Cucumbers a little tricky because they do vine or whatever, so I will have to put a trellis up, but I've done it before and it turns out just fine. Look how pretty this lettuce is. Now it's been how long has it been now? It's been about a week. This lettuce is coming along really, really nicely. Now, it wasn't planted from seed, just to be clear. That was planted from a smaller plant. So now it's time for my new grill to come because recall that I gave my old grill away. It was all rusted out and all of that. So the new grill is coming in and I'm super excited about that. I love cooking outside in the summertime. I probably cook outside 3 to 4 days a week and really all year. I cook outside all the time. I'll come out in a minute and throw a piece of salmon on the grill. That is like my favorite, or a burger on the grill, whatever. But anyway, today I'm gonna go ahead and give this grill a try. And I'm doing a hibachi, first time ever doing hibachi. So I'm really, really excited about that. I love vegetables. I love charbroiled vegetables. I love them when they get kind of burned. That's just my thing. So I've got some zucchini, I've got onions, I've got sweet potato in here, and what else do I have in here? Peppers, all different peppers. I love the trio: red, orange, yellow, green, all of the peppers and things like that. I'm doing some shrimp with it, and then I'll add my rice. I don't know how many days have gone by, but it's been several. I never get this much work done in one day, especially since it's been so warm out. So I take my breaks. I take lots and lots of breaks. So here is my lunch for today. Now, it may not look all that great on camera, but it was delicious. I loved it. For my first time, I am very pleased with how it turned out. But anyway, this is my deck for spring 2025. I've got lots of containers that I will eventually add my real flowers to, but for right now it is perfect for this time of year for coming out. Things Everything is clean for now. My plants are in here. They are starting the growth cycle for this year, so I am excited about that. I'll come out and just kind of watch their progress. I love that. Well, I hope that you all have enjoyed this video. And if you did, please don't leave without giving me a thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button if you're not currently subscribed. I would love to have you as a part of my YouTube family. And to my returning family members, thank you so much for your support. And I hope to see you all over here on my next one. Bye bye.